This is the strongest man in NFL history. His max bench press is over 700 pounds, which also makes him one of the strongest people on the planet. After overcoming the streets of Compton, being stabbed, and not even graduating high school, it's safe to say we've never seen anything like Larry Allen. Before his NFL debut, there was a time where it seemed like Allen wouldn't even live long enough to make the league. If growing up in Compton, California wasn't hard enough, his journey couldn't have gotten off to a worse start. At just 6 weeks old, Allen contracted meningitis and almost died. From there, things only got tougher as his parents separated. When Allen was 9 years old, an older neighbor attacked his younger brother, so he stepped in to try to save the day, and as a result, the neighbor stabbed Allen 12 times in the head and shoulder. This was the type of violence that defined his childhood while living in Compton. Allen spent countless nights on the floor of his family home in his mother's arms, just hoping to survive the neighborhood's latest shootout. In an ideal world, Allen would have turned to youth sports, specifically football, to channel his emotions of having to deal with experiences that no kid should have to grow up with. But his family was way too poor to play Pop Warner football. It wasn't until Allen was a high school freshman that he would get his first chance to play organized football, except he and his mother moved, forcing Allen to switch schools and miss his freshman season. Then as a sophomore, before getting a chance to play, they moved again, back to Compton this time. So it wasn't until Allen's junior year that he was finally able to play, but his time with the team would be short-lived, with regular drug deals happening outside his house and heavy gang activity keeping him from wearing certain colored clothing. Allen begged his mom to move back to Northern Cali. She obliged, and the duo headed to Napa. Immediately, he joined the team at his new school, and he thrived playing football there. The problem was, Allen never got comfortable in the classroom. Having attended a different school for each year of high school took its toll on Allen's learning capabilities. He finished without a diploma or standardized test scores because he never felt secure enough to make arrangements to take the SAT. So Division I college football programs stayed away from Allen due to eligibility concerns, despite how dominant he was on the field as an offensive lineman. But Allen was not ready to give up on his football career just yet. He enrolled in Butte Junior College in Oroville, California. While the JUCO route is far from glamorous and not for everyone, Allen realized it was the only way to keep his football dreams alive. It looked like a great decision by Allen, who quickly made a name for himself on the gridiron. In both of his first 2 seasons at Butte, he was named to the All-Conference and All-State teams. As a sophomore, Allen was also named a Junior College All-American. But just when it looked like he had gotten his life on track, Allen was forced to leave Butte to move back home with his mom in Compton. Now back in the place he once begged to leave, Allen had every right to call it quits and give up on his football dreams. And a football career just didn't seem to be in the cards. But Allen was built different. He had been through too much to fold, so he borrowed plastic drugstore weights from one of his cousins and spent every day lifting. Allen said, "Those weights were tiny. I would lift them 100 times. Every day, at least 100 times. I didn't know what I was waiting for. I was just, waiting." It turns out what he was waiting for was a phone call from an assistant coach at Sonoma State University, a Division II school north of San Francisco. That coach had seen how good Allen was during his time at Butte and believed in bringing players from South Central LA to Sonoma. Allen heading north couldn't have worked out any better for all parties involved. In 2 seasons playing for Sonoma, Allen gave up only a single sack and became a 2-time All-American as the team set school records for total yards, touchdown passes, game per completion rate, and passer rating. Word quickly began to spread around the NFL about a Division II offensive lineman who was unstoppable. So after his second year at Sonoma, Allen was invited to play in the East-West Shrine Game and Senior Bowl. He had been given a chance to prove that his dominance wasn't just the result of playing inferior competition at the D2 level, and Allen rose to the occasion. He manhandled anyone who crossed his path during those practices and games. For Allen, he was channeling years of hardship, years of pain, years of life not being fair. Around the time of the 1994 NFL Draft, he said, "When I'm on the field, I'm like a gangbanger. I hit as hard as I can for as long as I can. I think maybe I'm taking out all my frustrations about my life." And Allen's list of frustrations grew on draft day, as teams refused to see past his unique path to the league that included playing for a small school. Despite shining at the college all-star games, running a 4.85 second 40-yard dash at Sonoma State, and being able to bench 500-plus pounds, 9 offensive linemen and 45 total players were selected in the draft, until finally Allen heard his name called. The Dallas Cowboys drafted him with the 46th pick in the second round. Being the 10th player chosen from his player group only added to Allen's inner fire that had him well on his way to becoming a freak of nature. Having battled so much adversity throughout his life, he was inspired to use his otherworldly strength to forever etch his name into football lore. He also continued to hit the weight room as if his life depended on it. It got to the point where Allen was bench pressing more than 600 pounds and squatting 800. When he arrived in Dallas, it was time for Allen to show the world that he was more than simply simply a feel-good story who could put up eye-popping numbers in the gym. During his rookie season, Allen started 10 regular season games while rotating between playing guard and tackle. This tied a record for most starts on the offensive line as a rookie in franchise history. He showed off his otherworldly athleticism in a primetime Monday Night Football game against the New Orleans Saints. When quarterback Troy Aikman was intercepted, Larry Allen, at 325 pounds from a dead stop, ran down the Saints linebacker to save a touchdown. This truly introduced the world to the freak of nature that was Larry Allen. He also played a key role in the Cowboys allowing a team record low of 20 sacks, as he was named to the league's all-rookie team. This fast start only instilled more self-confidence in Allen that he belonged in the NFL. It also was proof that his insane workouts would translate to success on the field. The following season in '95 was one that Allen would never forget. In addition to making his first Pro Bowl and being named first-team All-Pro, he helped the Cowboys win a Super Bowl that year. With Allen leading the charge up front, Dallas running back Emmitt Smith was able to rush for a franchise record 1,773 yards and score an NFL record 25 rushing touchdowns. Allen's play that season put the league on notice that he was more than just an animal in the weight room. After essentially a perfect year filled with personal and team success, Allen refused to slow down. He was named first-team All-Pro in each of the next 6 seasons, and as his game continued to improve, so did his strength, which was no coincidence. There's a video of him in the Cowboys' weight room, benching 635 pounds, then 675, then 705. It's a video that without a doubt would have gone viral if social media was around back then. Witnesses also say that he was squatting 900 pounds at the time. These are numbers that professional weightlifters dream about, so to do it as a football player who wasn't solely dedicated to lifting makes it that much more absurd. Then just when everything was going Allen's way, the 2002 season was a reminder that nothing in life comes easy to him. Early on, he suffered a sprained ankle that he kept on trying to fight through, but eventually, the pain was too much to bear, even for him, which says a lot. After playing in only 5 games, Allen was forced to have season-ending surgery to remove bone spurs from his ankle. Heading into the 2003 season, Allen was coming back from surgery and 32 years old, so naturally, there were questions about how effective Larry could still be. Had years of grinding finally taken its toll on Allen? But with this additional motivation, as if he needed any more, Allen went out that year and reasserted his dominance. He once again made the Pro Bowl, showing everyone he wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. At the 2006 Pro Bowl Skills Challenge, he participated in the bench press competition in pursuit of officially achieving a title that had unofficially been his for years, and Allen cruised to a victory as he threw up 43 reps at 225 pounds and was named strongest man in the NFL. While he was the favorite to win, it shouldn't be discounted that he was able to do so at the age of 35. Despite being crowned champ, that offseason provided Allen with his first bit of adversity since the injury a few years earlier. After having spent his entire career in Dallas, the Cowboys decided it was time to move on from their rock. In March of 2006, they released Allen, and for the first time in his career, he was going to have to suit up for a different team. Although being released can be a very traumatic experience, Allen wasn't fazed, as other teams jumped at the opportunity to finally have the league's strongest man on their roster. Just 3 days after the Cowboys released him, the 49ers signed Allen to a 2-year contract. Allen used Dallas giving up on him as motivation for the upcoming season, and this was evident in his play. He was dominant in his first 11 games for San Fran, before his season ended prematurely due to a sprained MCL. Even though Allen missed the final 5 games of the season, he was still elected to the Pro Bowl, and at that event, he successfully defended his strongest man title. While an injury to a player's MCL at that age would end a lot of careers, Allen once again showed the world he was built different. He came out the following year and played in all 16 games on his way to being voted as a Pro Bowl alternate. Right before the next season was set to begin, Allen signed a 1-day contract with Dallas so that he could retire as a Cowboy. He had given the sport everything he had for so long and just didn't have another year in it. Allen finished his career as a 7-time All-Pro and 11-time Pro Bowler. And if there needed to be any more evidence that he was just as skilled and impactful as he was strong, he was included on the NFL's All-Decade team. Then in 2013, he was inducted to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. While referring to Allen, John Madden, one of the most respected voices in football history, once said, "If I went back into coaching and I could take one guy with me, it would be that guy." And Madden didn't stop there. If somebody said to God, "What should all guards look like?" then he would send down Larry Allen. There isn't any higher praise than those 2 lines by the legendary John Madden. Considering this and Allen's long list of accolades, he is widely viewed as one of the league's greatest offensive linemen of all time and is the undisputed strongest man